I found this story on Reddit. The guy who wrote it swore it was true. And if even half of it really happened, the Bermuda Triangle is far darker than we think. He began his post with a warning. If you ever hear knocking under the hull of your ship, run. I couldn't. Those words alone gave me chills. And now, I'll tell you his story. The writer called himself Alex, not a sailor, just a guy in love with the ocean. He and 4 friends rented a small but sturdy ship. They laughed, took pictures, even joked about the missing planes and ships. They didn't know this trip would be their last. The first 2 days were perfect. Clear skies, calm waters. The ocean felt endless, almost kind. But on the 3rd night, everything changed. The compass spun wildly, then froze, pointing south even as they sailed west. The radio spat static, but inside the static, voices, words broken, whispering. And then the storm. Lightning flashed green. Thunder didn't roar. It hammered like steel being crushed in the sky. The crew's laughter died instantly. Only fear remained.
Morning came. One of the crew was gone. His bed was made, neat, empty, but he was never seen again. They searched the ship, threw ropes into the ocean. Nothing. The next day, another vanished. That's when the sounds began. A low hum from the deep, then knocks on the hull. Not random, not waves, knocks. One night, Alex woke to a voice, not in a dream, not in his mind. Alex. He panicked, ran to his friends, but they'd heard it too. One swore he saw figures on deck. Another claimed glowing eyes stared at them from the water. Only 3 were left, hungry, exhausted, afraid. Alex started writing on his phone to remember, to stay sane. And he wrote, "I knew I would be the last one. I could feel it. Something out there was taking us, one by one." If this story is giving you chills, drop a comment. Tell me what you'd change or what you'd add. 2 of his friends disappeared in a single night. Alex heard a loud bang. He ran to the deck, but all he found was an open door swinging in the wind. No screams, no struggle, only silence. Now he was alone, on a ship that no longer felt like his. The ocean, dead calm. The whispers, endless. Closer, louder, constant. Alex wrote, "If I stayed one more night, I'd lose my mind, but there was nowhere to go. Only the black ocean and whatever waited beneath it." And that was only the beginning.
Alex's story didn't end with the whispers. He said what he saw the next morning was worse than anything before. The sun rose, but the light didn't feel safe. The ocean wasn't blue anymore. It was black, thick, heavy. And on the horizon, land. Not an island like you've seen on maps. The coastline twisted unnaturally. Trees stood crooked, their leaves glowing faintly, like veins under skin. He thought he was hallucinating, but the ship kept drifting closer. He dropped anchor, but the current dragged him forward.
The ship scraped against gray sand. Not white, not yellow, gray. When he stepped on it, it clung to his boots like ash. And in the trees, eyes. Huge, unblinking eyes, watching. Alex stayed on the ship as long as he could, rationed his food, collected rainwater. But every night, the knocks returned, harder, louder. Sometimes the entire ship tilted as if something massive pressed against it from below. He wrote, "It wanted me off the ship, onto the island. The ocean was trying to hand me over."
3 nights later, Alex gave in. Flashlight, knife, rope. He stepped onto the island. The air was thick, wet, smelled like rust. Then, footsteps. Not behind him, not ahead, all around. Shadows moved in the glow of the trees, shapes crawling, watching. If you're still here and you want more stories like this, hit follow. There's plenty more horror where this came from. Deeper in the woods, Alex found something. A wreck. Metal, rusted, twisted. Maybe a ship, maybe a plane. Carved into the surface were names. Hundreds of names. Scratched in desperation. Beside them, claw marks. Alex ran. The forest exploded with sound. Branches snapped. Leaves shook violently. The footsteps grew louder, closer. And then the chanting. Hundreds of whispers calling his name. Alex, Alex, Alex. He sprinted through the gray sand, threw himself back onto the ship. The island didn't follow, but it didn't let go either. Alex managed to repair the radio, enough to send one last SOS. He thought no one would hear him, but a voice answered. Rescuers came. They found him starving, exhausted, but alive. But when they checked the ship's radio, it was still transmitting. And over the static, a second voice. Not Alex. Not human. That was the last anyone heard from him. No replies. No updates. Only silence. And maybe that's the scariest part.